conditioning issue. So we will stand by and await an updated T0.
LC LOX 1.
Go LOX 1.
Fogo suppressor charge is complete.
Roger. And LOX 1 LC, your status on step 850.
Alice Avila 2 at flight level.
Roger. And with that, all steps are complete prior to the status.
LC STD.
Go.
Spacecraft is configured for launch.
Roger. And RLM LC. Go ahead. Again, verify red line monitor and event table in a correct configuration for terminal count.
Verified.
Roger. Okay, all personnel stand by for the status check. And we'll get a new T0.
With all the required activities prior to terminal count now reported complete, the team will choose a new T0 and we'll get moving here momentarily.
T0 of 1737.
1737. Roger. RC, LC, net 1.
RC.
Please coordinate a new T0, 1737 Zulu.
1737 Zulu in work.
ALC, set the clock for a T0, 1737 Zulu.
Roger.
Copy.
LC ALC.
Go.
Countdown clock has been set for a new T0 of 1737 Zulu.
Roger.
L minus 9 minutes.
LC, RC, net 1.
Go, RC.
New T0 is approved.
Roger. Okay, all personnel, we have an approved T0 for 1737 Zulu. LC switch to the ready position. All steps are complete prior to the status check.
And as you just heard, the clocks are now set for our new T0 of 1737. The range has approved the new T0 and the team is now ready to proceed with countdown. Launch conductor Scott Barney will resume his activities and conduct the poll for terminal count in just over 1 minute.
L minus 8 minutes. L minus 7 minutes.
Status check to proceed with terminal count. Atlas Systems, propulsion.
Go.
Hydraulics.
Go.
Pneumatics.
Go.
LO2.
Go.
Water.
Go.
Centaur Systems, propulsion.
Go.
Pneumatics.
Go.
LO2.
Go.
LH2.
Go.
HASGAS.
Go.
Electrical Systems, airborne.
Go.
Ground.
Go.
Facility.
Go.
RFFTS.
Go.
Flight control.
Go.
GCQ.
Go.
Operations support.
Go.
COM.
Go.
Umbilicals.
Go.
ECS.
Go.
Redline monitor.
Go.
Quality.
Go.
Op safety manager.
Go.
ULA safety officer.
Go.
Vehicle system engineer.
Go.
Anomaly chief.
Go.
Range coordinator.
Clear to proceed.
Launch director.
Launch vehicle is ready to launch.
Mission director.
You have permission to launch.
Proceeding with the count. ALC. Verify T0 is set for 1737 Zulu.
Verified.
Polling is complete. The ULA launch team and the Space Force mission director are go for launch. From T-minus 4 minutes until launch, you'll be listening to Scott Barney and his team performing the final steps in the countdown procedure. You'll hear the team call out that Atlas liquid oxygen topping has been secured, followed about a minute later by the call out for transferring the Atlas and Centaur stages from ground facility power to internal battery power. At T-minus 1 minute 55 seconds, the team will command the launch sequencer to start, followed shortly by securing the Centaur liquid hydrogen and liquid oxygen topping activities. At T-minus 1 minute 40 seconds, the team will command the flight control system to launch enable and arm the flight termination system. In the final minute, Atlas tanks will be verified to flight pressures, followed by a verification of Centaur tank pressures. A final status check of Atlas, Centaur, and Sirius GO5 readiness is conducted at T-minus 25 seconds. At T-minus 3 seconds, the RD-180 engine will roar to life. After liftoff, you'll hear the voice of Patrick Moore providing launch vehicle ascent data.
STD, this is LC. Please re-verify spacecraft remains configured for launch.
Verified.
All steps are complete prior to terminal count.
This is Atlas Mission Control at T-minus 4 minutes and holding. We anticipate releasing the hold in just a few moments.
On my mark, the time will be T-minus 4 minutes and counting. 3, 2, 1, mark. 3:55.
The countdown clock has resumed, and we are go for launch at 1:37 p.m. Eastern Time.
T-minus 3 minutes.
Securing LO2 stopping.
Atlas tanks to flight pressure.
2 minutes, 50 seconds.
FTS internal.
159,
Vehicle internal.
155,
Launch sequencer start.
150,
Securing Centaur LH2.
Securing Centaur LO2.
140,
Launch enabled.
137,
FCS armed.
T-minus 90 seconds. The launch vehicle, payload, ground systems, and eastern range are go for launch.
120,
OCU's armed.
FCS count started.
110,
Vent valves locked.
T-minus 1 minute.
Rock, report range status.
range green, 40 seconds,
Stable at step 3.
$25,
Status check.
Go Atlas.
Go Centaur.
Go Sibbers.
T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, Atlas ignition, 2, 1, and liftoff. Liftoff. The United Launch Alliance Atlas V rocket with the 5th space-based infrared system satellite for the United States Space Force.
Now 15 seconds into flight. PU's gone to closed loop control. Engine operating parameters continue to look good.
You are hearing the voice of Patrick Moore providing launch vehicle ascent data.
Vehicle's now completing the pitch over program. Body rates look good. Seeing good chamber pressure on both SRBs. And RD-180 now beginning the throttle bucket. Engine response looks good. And now passing through Mach 1. Atlas V is now supersonic, and Max Q, maximum dynamic pressure. Body rates continue to look good through the boost phase. Vehicle's now throttling back up slightly. Engine response continues to look good. Chamber pressure on both SRBs continue to look good. Now passing 1 minute 10 seconds into flight. Atlas is now 10 miles in altitude, 4.5 miles downrange distance, traveling at 2,000 miles per hour. 1 minute 20 seconds into flight, standing by for SRB burnout shortly. Body rates continue to look good. Chamber pressure on the SRB is now tailing off. And we have burnout on both SRBs. Atlas will hold on to the SRBs for an additional 39 seconds before jettison. RD-180 is throttled back up to full thrust. Engine response looks good. Now passing 1 minute 50 seconds into flight. Body rates continue to look good throughout the boost phase. And the Atlas V now weighs 1/2 of its liftoff weight. And standing by for SRB jettison shortly. And we have good indication of separation of both SRBs. Now just under 2 minutes remaining in the booster phase of flight. Vehicle's gone to closed loop steering, seeing a slight correction in the body rates, now damping out nicely. Body 180 engine operating parameters continue to look good. RD-180 throttling down slightly now as expected. Two minutes 40 seconds into flight. Atlas is now 39 miles in altitude, 68 miles downrange distance, traveling at 5,400 miles per hour. And the Centaur reaction control system is now pressurizing to flight levels. System response looks good. Now coming up on 3 minutes into flight. RD-180 pump speeds and injector pressures continue to look good. Body rates continue to look good. Now about 1 minute remaining until booster engine cutoff. Pump speeds and injector pressures on the RD-180 continue to look good throughout the boost phase. Three minutes, 30 seconds into flight. Atlas is now 56 miles in altitude, 160 miles downrange distance, traveling at 9,000 miles per hour. And RD-180 is now throttling to maintain a constant 5G acceleration limit. RD-180 responses look good. And Centaur's begun the boost phase chill down sequence. RD-180 now going to 4.6G throttle limiting, standing by for BECO. And we have BECO booster engine cutoff, standing by for stage set. And we have good indication of stage separation. We have pre-start on the RL-10, standing by for ignition. We have ignition and full thrust on the RL-10. Chamber pressure looks good. Body rates look good. And we have good indication of payload fairing jettison. This first burn of today's mission will last approximately 10 minutes, 30 seconds. RL-10 engine operating parameters look good. Body rates have damped out nicely from the startup transients. And the RCS system has begun the initial thruster firings for system thermal conditioning. Just over 5 minutes now remaining in, or 5 minutes now into flight. RL-10 chamber pressure looks good. Body rates continue.
This is Atlas Mission Control at T plus 5 minutes, 20 seconds. Patrick Moore just confirmed successful completion of the early phase of today's flight, and all systems continue to operate nominally. The mission is currently in the first Centaur engine burn. Our next event, Centaur main engine cutoff, will occur in approximately 10 minutes. Lockheed Martin builds the SBIRS satellites for the U.S. Space Force.